Welcome back to Synthreo AI Foundations. I'm Callan Sapien, your presenter for today, and this is video 2, Tokens, Context Windows, and Knowledge Cutoffs. So let's jump in. Over the next few minutes, you'll learn how to explain and work within two things that trip up every new AI user: why a long conversation seems to forget what you said earlier, and why an LLM can be so confidently out of date about current facts. So, two ideas, both about limits. Let's tackle both. First, tokens. A token is a chunk of text, not necessarily a whole word. A word like hamburger or a number like 100 billion might be multiple tokens. Everything the model reads and writes is measured in tokens. Second, the context window. Your prompt, the full conversation history, anything you've attached to the chat or an agent has used, and the response the model is writing, has written, or will write, all share that one window of working space. It's finite. So, in longer conversations, early details may fall out of the window, they may be compacted away. The model isn't forgetting on purpose. The context literally isn't in view or doesn't exist in the chat anymore. At times like these, we actually recommend people start a fresh chat or summarize prior work and then move on when this happens. Then there's a second limit, the training cutoff. This can be incredibly frustrating because an LLM's knowledge is frozen to a point in time. For anything current, a price, a status, a recent event, its built in knowledge can and most often is wrong. And you need a current source, either fed into the model via a document or by enabling something like live web search. So, three things to remember: tokens are chunks of data, and everything shares one finite context window. Long chats can lose early details, start fresh, or summarize. You're always running up against compaction. And built in knowledge has a cutoff. Current facts need current sources. Rather than have you sit and watch me walk through a long conversation and see if something falls off, we're going to push this back to you. So, what I want you to do is start a chat, hold a 6 to 8 turn conversation, then ask the model about your very first message. Note if anything was missing. Then, separately or as part of the same chat, ask a current fact, something that happened in the last few days. If the model wasn't released in the last few days, and even if it was, most likely it won't be able to answer. I'd recommend you ask it once for it to ask it from its knowledge base without web search, and ask it a second time for it to do it using web search. Note the differences. Feel the differences between running out of context and running out of training. This has been video 2, and we look forward to welcoming you back in videos that we do in the future. Thank you.